Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. This week's matchup featuring two teams who both came away with wins a week ago and know it should be a good battle today. It's the Colts going up against the Dolphins. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
Larry, it was a little late in getting here, but autumn has arrived on a beautiful November day in Miami, Florida. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. So we've got encroachment, and that's a free 5 yards.
Too easy for the offense. A bit of impatience by the defense on that one.
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
Back to throw here. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second down to the offense needing 5 yards. They'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
And let's go through the starting defense for Indianapolis.
Ray Maluga competes very hard as a linebacker. Very difficult to block and keep out of the play.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. Here we go now. Blue landing.
Now they'll run on the draw. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Now that's the kind of play just warms the heart of a former safety. When they call your number on a blitz, you're either going to wreak havoc at the quarterback or spill a running play, and that's exactly what happened there.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5". They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And the Colts are going to have a first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they got 3rd and short.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now you got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Time running out here on the play clock. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. The play clock's running down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Well, there was no blitz. That was just a draw play that, to be frank, didn't fool anybody.
Did we hear the entire stadium screaming draw? Because it felt like everybody was all over that play, and the defense won that battle.
And on 3rd down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Play clock winding down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They come out here in the eye. Back to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And he cuts it right sideline. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Yeah, making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
1 quarter down. It's a close game here early on. And we'll be back to South Florida after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff. As they'll take over with the ball, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm actually surprised they didn't get out of that play. I didn't see anyone pressing the line of scrimmage for the defense.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
On play action, they'll throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And that went good for 16 yards and a first.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
He'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Their big tight end, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And he's able to put it through. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Colts getting ready to go. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's three levels: defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the third level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Out of the gun now on third down. That is caught at the 7th. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts have taken the lead. Well, we heard it, how heavily they stressed effective goal line offense this week in practice. Pays off there, they punch it in.
Now not only have we heard it, we saw it. All that preparation, and what it means is going back and examining what's been going wrong before. How can you correct it? Maybe it's even changes of personnel, but it paid off in this situation.
So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. What a spin. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he'll give it here to his running back. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
They'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it. And
the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Pat McAfee now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, and it's a high kick. Hit pretty well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I come around.
Taking it right down Broadway. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down.
Here we go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be marked down deep into Miami territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. And quickly, they get to the line. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have played a clean first half and that there are no turnovers to this point. That being the case, it's no surprise that we have a very close game at halftime. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Colts with the ball late in the first. Here the pass is completed into coverage, and it's going to be caught for the touchdown. That puts them up by a touchdown. Dolphins have it early in the second. Here the pass would be completed into coverage, and that goes as a 23-yard touchdown. Dolphins tied up at 7. Colts with the ball midway through the second. He'll head up the middle on the run, and he cap off the long drive with a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 7. Now 1st and 10, pass will be completed out of the gun. And nobody can stop him on this long touchdown. We're brand new at 14. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Miami for the start of the second half.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Completion was given up, and that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Again, we'll see the pistol here.
All right, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty.
And you notice how the offensive line responded. A couple went to check on the quarterback, and a couple went to the guy who hit the quarterback. No one likes to see their quarterback hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And the confidence from last week carrying over to this week.
2 weeks in a row, and I have to admit, last week, I thought they were going to really struggle running the football. I thought that they had a real challenge on their hands, and they more than met it and created big-time openings that he just absolutely hurtled through. And they figured, why not? Let's carry it forward this week. Again, the same thing. All the blocking schemes are there. I think they've really done a great job. That B gap between the guard and the tackle has been there all game for them, and they continue to exploit it.
And he's just going downhill.
Not only downhill, but with incredible, incredible force.
Another pistol look here. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big game.
He'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards, but after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And they give this time to the tailback. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brendan, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Back to throw here. He's got time in the pocket. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control. And yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Give him 16 on the pickup, and the Dolphins are going to get a first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Here we go now.
They run a draw here on second down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets off a high spiraling kick. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a play fake here on first down. Finding time. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
So a costly penalty and now a tougher 3rd down situation. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field.
We got three, fellas. We got 3. All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays. Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. 2 yards to go here on third down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, and try it that way. Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen? Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Malaluga. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
And the Colts coming out now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Here's Pat McAfee now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance. Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense, but when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Green, 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here we go. Blue landed.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So after being silenced a week ago, he's not being silenced here in this one. And you knew a guy like him wouldn't be held down for 2 straight weeks.
Feels like they just decided to game plan early to get him involved and get him off the schneid, because you don't want a week like last week to linger. Just give the ball to him early and let him turn in a big-time performance, and that's exactly what he's doing.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Back to throw here. That's caught at the 2. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming from the right hash in a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice.
Here we go now.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And some extras coming up on the line here, ready for the blitz. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it, no one got it. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Colts, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami.